Hello, everybody. Welcome to IExam B. Today we have Sreenath with us, and he has recently cleared RBI Grade B exam. Many congratulations, Sreenath, from the entire IExam B team, and wish you all the best. Sreenath, can you briefly give an introduction about yourself, your profile?
First of all, thank you, ma'am, and thank you, IExam. For the warm wishes and also the support that I have been getting throughout this journey. So, speaking about my background and all, actually, I have done my BTech in civil engineering. And after that, I got a placement in a company in Qatar, and I worked there for 1.5 years almost. Then I came back for preparing civil services, and my main focus was on civil service initially. And in between that, I just gave 2 attempts for RBI Grade B, but without much preparations. And obviously, my result was that I couldn't clear the prelims in the first 2 attempts. And after that, I just decided to stop the UPSC the attempts, and I just started focusing on RBI itself. And meanwhile, I just got into one of the public sector bank. So right now, currently I'm working in a bank. I'm in a public sector bank. So from there onwards, I started my serious and sincere attempt for RBI Grade B from third attempt onwards. And last year was my third attempt, and I reached up to the stage of interview, but again missed by around 7 marks in the final cutoff. So luckily this time I was able to make it through.
Okay, that's great. So, Sreenath, how did you plan to prepare for RBI Grade B? You have already given 2 unsuccessful attempts. So, this time, what changed?
Actually, the thing is, initially I was not much aware of this exam. I just gave it as a part of UPSC. Like many other people in the UPSC preparation, they just give the attempt for RBA. But later on, I understood that the exam is quite a big one. Nothing that I have thought about. So I thought that it should be kind of a serious attempt, because the exam demands that kind of level of preparation. Because initially I had some certain misconceptions that if I prepare for UPSC, I'll be able to easily prepare for RBA. But that was not the case. In my first 2 attempts, that I understood that very clearly, because the kind of GK that is being asked for UPSC as well as for RBA is quite different. And also for RBA, we need to have some kind of analytical kind of skills, like this kind of reasoning and quantitative aptitude. So, as far as the prelims is concerned, I'm saying. So, in a way, I found that the exam is much more challenging, much more demanding, and also much more rewarding in the case if we clear the exam. So, that was the case when I thought that somewhere around the kind of syllabus that has been asked for RBA and all kind of suits my interest, maybe, or my strength much more than the UPSC is what I thought after my third attempt in UPSC. And that is when I thought of shifting from UPSC to RBI Grade B. And that's what made me prepare for the exam. And later on, the thing is that from my third attempt onwards, I started actually going through various videos of the previous toppers, and also I had some of my friends and seniors who have gone through, cleared the RBI Grade B. So I just talked with them, and they also told about the kind of preparation or the strategy that is required for the exam, and that is how I started focusing it in a bit more serious manner. And that is, now, luckily I'm here.
That's great. Can you tell the students here which subjects were the most difficult for you, where you faced most of the problem, and which were easy for you?
Well, in the case of prelims or means?
Let's start with prelims first then.
Okay. In the case of prelims, actually, what I would like to suggest is that it is all about the individual strengths and weaknesses of each candidate, because various candidates come from various backgrounds and they may have a certain edge over the others in certain areas. In my case, even though I come from engineering and engineering background, I know that mathematics and reasoning would be okay. I could manage it. But after giving the 2 attempts, the initial first 2 attempts, and when preparing for the third attempt, what I understood was that it is quite a enormous task in making a very big score in reasoning and quant. I'm saying it just in my case. It might not be applicable for everyone. So what I thought was that my aim should be to clear the sectional cutoff of reasoning and quant by maybe some 5 or 6 marks in a fairly safe manner. We will not be having the idea of the cutoff, but still, aiming around some 18 to 20 marks in reasoning and around 12 to 15 marks in quant. Aiming, but we might not get that much still. That was my case. And for the English, I felt that I could score about 20 after giving so many mocks. And what I understood was that it is quite a doable thing for me. So I thought English is something that I should focus and improve that marks from 20 to 25 or something. And coming to the GK, that is the most determining part for this exam as far as the prelims is concerned. Because what I felt is that the overall, the kind of way in which we can clear the overall cutoff will be determined based on your marks in the quantitative, the general awareness section. Because that is one section where we can at least score around some 36 to 40 marks or maybe even more. And that one single score can help you actually clear the overall cutoff, even if you just clear the sectional cutoff by a very thin margin also. Because even this time also I cleared the reasoning by just around some 1.5 or 2 marks only, sectional cutoff. And my score in GA was the main thing that I crossed the overall cutoff. So that is my advice, that the focus should be on GA in the case of prelims. And it's not that the others to be ignored, but still understand your weakness and strength. Like everyone. Sorry. And from that, we need to make sure, we need to make a plan for this by relying on our strength and weakness. But definitely, we must never ignore the aspect of GA, because that is going to be the one of the most determining sections as far as the prelims is concerned. As far as the mains is concerned, to study finance and management is comparatively tough. As far as the topics are concerned, it is much more technical in nature, especially for those who are from a non-commerce background or non-economics background. And the management part also will be those topics which we are learning for the first time. But as far as the ESI part is concerned, to learn ESI is much more comparatively easier, is what I felt. Especially as far as the demand of the exam is concerned, it is more oriented towards the current affairs part rather than the theoretical part. For the past few years. So to learn it is easy, but the thing is that when it comes to the exam, finance and management is the much more scoring subject. Like you'll get a very good score in those subjects if you are going to study it in a decent manner. But the thing is, to score in ESI is very difficult. That is what I felt in my personal case, because especially the ESI, they can ask the government schemes and kind of reports from anywhere. So it is quite a gamble actually. So we actually don't have a kind of an open. We don't have a strict syllabus. It's like an open syllabus. They can ask from any year or any scheme from any different timeline. So saying this is with respect to the time that we have for studying. That is what I'm saying. Because especially in my case, I'm a working professional, so I definitely never had enough time, especially the fourth attempt. But as far as finances and management is concerned, it is all about spending some time on the subject, trying to learn the basics. Of course, just going through the width of the subject, syllabus, without going into the depth. That is what I did in my case, because one thing is that I never had the time to go into the depth. The next thing is that after seeing the previous year's questions, what I found is that there is no need to go into the depth, especially in the kind of topics like derivatives and all. It is a very big and vast topic. But there is no need to go into the various depth, and it's like a calculated risk only. They can ask from anywhere, but still, for the past few years, I haven't seen any question that is asking in too much depth of the finance and management areas. And especially management is one such section which I feel we must never neglect, because that is one such area we can actually even score 100% marks in that area. Because the questions are quite kind of not predictable, I'm saying, but still, if you are preparing those topics in a holistic manner, definitely we can score a very good marks. Last time I have got almost full marks in the case of management, I believe. In FNM also I got a very good marks, around 70 marks I got. But this time also I think FNM was the area where I scored more marks. And the marks are not out still, but still, what I feel. Then coming to the next part is the English, which is the part which we actually will feel we are very good and we'll ignore it. And that is the biggest mistake we'll do, because last time my English marks was the lowest in the phase 2, and that is why I feel is one such reason that I missed out in the final cutoff, because English compared to the others I got a very less marks. So this time my focus was on practicing certain essays and practicing certain comprehensions and all, because we need to have some kind of idea of what you're going to do, how you're going to structure an essay and all. Because if you can focus in English, it is one such area can be rewarding. And this year, I think I've scored better than last year. Interview is kind of a bigger gamble, I would feel, because even now I don't have the exact idea of what exactly is going in the interview. I think last year interview was much more better, and I got lesser marks, and this time I cleared. I never had the hope for. I thought that my interview was really bad, but I don't know, I cleared. So that's what such area is, when now it is a gray area for me. I don't know what is happening in interview.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, as you were a working professional, you had very less time. And then working in a bank, time is again more limited.
Yes.
So, how were you able to manage your preparation and what all sources did you use?
Madam, one thing is that in my fourth attempt, what I felt is that it is not that the kind of, we need not go beyond the entire syllabus, but we need to have a kind of a strategy and limit the kind of study that we do. And whatever study that we do, I mean, whatever topics that we study, we need to do it in a whole, holistic manner. That is what I felt, and that is what I did in my fourth attempt also, because I never went into the depth and breadth of any syllabus. I just went through the previous year's question papers, and I just noted down which are the areas that are being frequently asking the questions, and those areas I just focused and went. Of course, it is like a little bit of a risk. I mean, we need to take that calculated risk, because especially if you don't have the time. That is what I did in my fourth attempt. And the sources that I used also, I tried to limit it to the minimum, because when we use more number of sources, there is a chance that we'll be having, I mean, and getting anxiety. I mean, our anxiety would increase, and we would definitely will be going behind each and every material that we see, and we will not be ultimately doing any good thing to ourselves as far as the exam or the demand of exam is concerned. So that's what I felt. So coming to the sources, I just limited to certain current. I mean, there are some Telegram groups. I mean, I joined various Telegram groups, and I have just subscribed to the course of Crack Grade B and IExam, and I just simultaneously have used the materials of for the prelims and mains for the both things, because I mean both complemented each other. I mean, I didn't go beyond anything, or I have never referred any kind of standard books that is being set in the RBI syllabus also. I mean, I won't say that that is a good strategy, but that is a kind of a strategy that we can use if you don't have the time.
Okay. So, how was the material by IExam useful? So, was it sufficient for the exam?
But as far as my case is concerned, as I said, I never had the time. So definitely, the good thing I found in IExam course is that I could able to get some crisp notes, notes which we could revise even at the last moment. Because I mean, like, we need not make any separate notes apart from that. So that was the good thing, because it will give us a sense of a kind of a confidence that we have covered the syllabus, and also we'll be having certain good insights of the most important or the core points of that particular syllabus. So that essence of understanding of a syllabus gives us a good confidence when we go to the exam. So that is what I felt is one of the good thing of IExam. And especially coming to the interview also, definitely Social Secretary sir has been one of the pioneer in this area, and definitely he have been contacting. I mean, he have given the leverage to contact him even in the WhatsApp at any time also, and he would reply with back as and when he gets the time. So that was one a good thing about the IExam that I have noticed and have got.
Okay. So, Srinath, that's great insights and kind of inspiration for other aspirants. Anything you feel others should not do? So, a lot of do's you have told you should prepare using this. So, what should not be done by the aspirants?
Actually, one thing is that we must not be getting carried away by a lot and lot of study materials, because nowadays everywhere you can receive a lot of study materials, and even standard books also they have been prescribed by RBI in its syllabus. I mean, in its notification. Sorry. So, I mean, in my initial attempts of UPSC, what I did was that I used to go behind each and every books that I get, and I end up making my exam more miserable. So that was the understanding that I used in RBI Grade B exam also, because definitely we need to limit our sources, but whatever sources that we have, we should do it very kind of in a very devoted manner. So that will give us more confidence and more precision. And obviously, the best thing is that to do more mocks if you are getting more time, because that is the best thing which I would say is to, I mean, will help us to assess ourselves where we stand, and how should we improve, where should we improve. In the case of prelims, it is especially true, because we can definitely get an idea of which are the areas we should concentrate and not concentrate. And in the case of mains also, the don'ts is that again, as I said, limit your sources and try to practice more. That is the only thing we can do. I mean, beyond that, I would say, these are the things which I feel we should avoid and we should take care of.
Okay, so Sreenath, that's really great insights, and I think many aspirants will be inspired by your journey and will take cues as to what sources to use for preparation. Anything else you would like to add?
Madam, actually, the thing is that what I would like to add is that even if someone is starting, I mean, trying to prepare for RBI Grade B exam, just we need to be sure that we are understanding our strengths and weaknesses. That is the main thing, because based on that only we can build upon a study plan. And that plan has to be, again, as I said, has to be crisp, because we building a very big plan is very easy, but implementing a very big plan is very, very tough. So definitely, if we make a plan bit more clear and bit more short, it is easy to implement, and it will also give us a lot of confidence before the exam. Because at the time of exam, it is that confidence that matters, because most of the questions will be in an unexpected manner, in the case of prelims or in the case of mains. So to kind of face that unexpected questions or kind of unexpected areas of questions, we need to have a sense of calmness within ourselves, or else we'll actually ruin our exams. And one such area which I forgot to tell about is the descriptive part of these exams, especially the mains. I mean, especially the sense the descriptive is only for the mains. So, if possible, if candidates are someone who is having a good typing speed, it is fine. But still, I would suggest you to practice at least one or two mock tests before the exam in the case of mains, because again, as I said, we need to have a sense of confidence before going to the exam. If you practice one or two mock tests by typing the answers and all, we'll have a kind of somewhere around we'll have confidence that okay, we have kind of practiced this, we know how to increase our speed, or how where to maintain our speed and all, because especially the questions can be kind of an out of syllabus, I mean, out of syllabus in the sense the questions that cannot be anticipated. But that time we need to have some time for the brainstorming aspect. I mean, for every question it demands, but for those questions which are completely out of expected areas, definitely we need to give a more time to brainstorm it, so that our answer becomes structured. And then typing becomes a challenge actually, because we need to complete a lot of questions, and we cannot give. I mean, it's better not to leave any questions. It is better to attempt every question, at least even if you are able to complete some 75 to 80%. It's also so typing speed and brainstorming both becomes a kind of a dual aspect which we need to manage at the time. So if we need to manage these two things, we need to be calm. And if we are not calm, we are not going to manage this, and our exam also going to get spoiled. So my advice is that if you practice a bit more before the exams, that will be helpful for us at the time of exam, because indirectly, even without the case of knowledge also, our sense of confidence will allow us to do it in a better manner.
Right, right. So, Srinath, these are really great points that can help the aspirants. Again, many congratulations from the entire iExam team, and thank you so much for sharing your journey. Thank you so much for sharing how you prepared on our platform, and wish you all the best for your future ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.